welcome to my very first ever Amberlynn Reid reaction. I have done reactions on my channel before, talking about the reactors who react to Amberlynn Reid, and I will probably continue to do that because I still think there's value in that. However, this is the first time I've ever reacted to Amberlynn Reid herself, so why I wanted to start doing this one. I wanted to start doing this now because, as everyone knows, the weight loss arc is over, and we are once again in the post attempt phase, I guess. I don't really know where to call it. We're back on the cycle. We're back in a phase 1, and I felt like this is where I wanted to jump in, just because it's a nice, clean starting point to jump in to the reaction verse. That being said, I have been watching Amberlynn for the Becky years, the Becky era. I started watching her, I think a year after her and Becky got together. One of my friends who was actually in the Philippines got me watching this, and I've been hooked ever since, unfortunately. So I've been here for a lot of stuff. I've also been here for a lot of the Hater Nation drama, and a lot of the just reaction channel meltdowns and all that kind of stuff. So I've been around for a lot of the reaction channels, as well as Miss Lynn herself, Miss Reid. So why am I reacting? Do I have anything new to bring to the reaction verse? I am an anthropologist by training. I also did some archaeology in my life once upon a time. And so I have been, and always have been, coming at this whole Amberverse world from a completely different angle than a lot of other people have. And that's because, like, I'm looking at it as a holistic environment, which of course revolves around Ms. Lynn herself. I also have a healthy dose of sarcasm and humor to bring to this, because as much as I like to insert my academic observations, I also have been watching Amberlynn for a very long time. So maybe not as long as some people. I know some people have been watching her since like the Crystal years, but I've been watching her long enough that I've heard everything. I've heard the lies, I've heard the stories, I've heard the hope, I've heard the dreams, I see the cycle and all of that stuff. So I have things to comment as well. Unlike a lot of reactors, I'm not like emotionally invested in Amberlynn. I don't self-identify with Amberlynn. I don't, it's hard to, I don't have any, emotional reactions to Amberlynn when she fails or when she succeeds, because for me, I kind of have a detachment here. I see her as basically a character on television, and the world that she lives in is a world that she herself has created. And we are watching seasons. I mean, it's very accurate to call these different eras seasons, and just trying to see how Amber is trying to reinvent herself over and over and over again in this strange hope to succeed. I'll point things out as we get to them, because I have thoughts and I have feelings, and like I said, I don't get angry, and I don't get mad. Irritated, I do get irritated, because let's face it, some of the shit she does is just irritating. But anyway, so I'm coming at it from a more anthropological point of view than a lot of people. I'm not saying that means other people's points of views are less valid than mine, or less entertaining than mine, or, you know, less informed than mine. I'm just saying my point of view is this particular point of view, and it's one I'm going to try to maintain as I react to these. So I know that some of these videos are a little bit behind because she's been posting pretty much every day, and I kind of want to react to everything in full as much as possible. Some of the reaction channels that I've watched, or that I do watch regularly, they skip parts, and I know that they think those parts are boring, and they might be boring. I might find them boring, but I think I'm going to stick with them anyway, just because, like, I want a holistic view of the entirety of what's going on in Miss Lynn's head. So, without further ado, let's get started on this. The video we are going to start with was posted 2 weeks ago, according to my YouTube channel right now, and it's the TikTok viral taste test, overeating triggers, and prison art. This one, I chose to start with this one because I think this is the first time we see the mustard and cottage cheese diet, and I have some thoughts about the mustard and cottage cheese diet too. So I'm going to speed her up to, I believe, 1.5 because, like most people, I find Amberlynn very slow, and I have some thoughts and opinions on that too, so we'll just get into that as we go, and yeah.
Hello, hi, hello, how are you? Black Mirror season 6 is currently happening, and I'm about to start it, and we're about to see how it goes. Okay, it's just so crazy that like before Black Mirror didn't have like all these like well-known actors and stuff, and they do now. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's totally fine. Like I am like 3 minutes into the first episode, and ew, David, you guys know shit's Greek. But today has been productive. It's been like behind the scenes productive. I also last night, because it's 24 hours, I was able to go get some of the my orders done that I needed to get done. So I got my EKG done, and I got my chest x-ray done, and I was going to get my ultrasound, but they told me, oh, you have to schedule an appointment for that. And I didn't know because I had called prior to, and they said, no, we're open 24/7. Like, you don't have to schedule an appointment. But I think just like miscommunication happened, which is totally fine. So I went to call today to schedule to get my ultrasound done for my gallbladder, and they don't take my insurance. I just...
Okay, I'm actually going to slow her down because she's going too fast. Amazing. All right, so we're actually going to go down to 125. But
frustrated.
Amberlynn's health issues. There is always... I keep hitting my... There's always a new health issue. Can I move my head without banging it into my microphone now? There's always a new health issue. It's always something quirky. It's always something unique. As someone who also has health issues, I find her constant sickness and reinvention of her obvious actual issues kind of annoying. It does kind of annoy me. I think we're in the I can't breathe arc right now, and I don't remember why she's having to get the gallbladder. I don't remember why she has to go get the gallbladder x-ray. I don't remember, and I'm not going to go back and check. But one of the things that annoys me about her is this constant like, oh, I called to make an appointment, but there was a miscommunication, or I just can't believe that they won't just let me walk in and just do everything to me when I walk in. It's like all these years of going in and out of the hospital, like she's never learned how the healthcare system works in America, because she's in, what is it, Kentucky? She's from Kentucky. I'm from Indiana, by the way, so like a lot of the cultural things that people bitch about with Amberlynn Reid, I can sort of kind of explain to people, because I get irritated about people complaining about her Midwesternness, and that irritates the crap out of me. That's not an irritation towards Amberlynn, that's an irritation towards Amberlynn's reactors. But anyway, that being said, this whole like, oh, they said they're open 24 hours and I can just go in at any point and get an x-ray. I don't know of a single place other than an actual hospital that is open 24 hours that might provide an x-ray. I have never heard of such a thing. So sometimes I think sometimes I know she likes to embellish. She likes to make the story sound more dire than it is. And she also likes to make herself always look like either the victim or the more intelligent person in the conversation, or like she's the hero. Those things always have to happen. She never takes onus for her own screw-ups, which is usually not paying attention to what people have told her. She like half listens, and so then when she goes to actually do those things, assuming she is actually doing it and she's not just making things up, which I think she does also. Go figure. I think Amberlynn makes up stories and lies. So anyway, but yeah, I think her half listening actually causes a lot of the problems she has, because she doesn't listen to the full information, and so she doesn't have that with her when she goes to call the doctor to make an appointment. She doesn't know what to do because she didn't pay attention and she didn't listen, and also doesn't go on the internet to look things up unless it's, WebMD to tell her that she's got some weird Anyway, onward.
Because like I changed insurances at the beginning of the year, and I changed one that is like more well known and a lot more pricey, and I just feel like nowhere takes my insurance, and it's just becoming super frustrating. So
I don't think she has
for
insurance.
an ultrasound on my gallbladder, that's a no. So now I am, instead of making the appointment, I'm having to call around and see who takes my insurance, and then I have to talk to the provider who put in the order for me to get the gallbladder ultrasound. Oh my god, it's just a mess. So then they could put the order into somewhere else that actually takes my insurance, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Okay, I'm somebody who just went through a series of tests because I'm getting ready for surgery myself, and I had to get an ultrasound done, and the insurance process is not this complicated. If she actually had a well-known and well-received insurance, she would be accepted pretty much wherever she wanted to go. Most places take a wide variety of insurance companies because they like getting money, they like getting paid. So I think this is a complete fabrication, or at least an over-exaggeration. And then this whole like, I have to get in hold of the person who ordered the ultrasound, and that would be your doctor, not the person. It would be your doctor. She gives herself away a lot of times by the way that she talks, the words that she chooses to use when she's telling her stories. I have never in my life referred to my doctor as the person. It's always been my doctor. My doctor ordered an ultrasound. My doctor wanted me to get blood work. My doctor wanted me to get a biopsy. It's never, that person wanted me to get a biopsy. What person? Like, anyone you tell that to is going to be like, who? Also, most medical systems or most doctors and hospitals work within a medical system. So like when I had to go get my blood work done, I had to go to a specific lab to get my blood work done, and I didn't because I didn't like that lab. So now I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to get the results from the lab that I did go to my doctor, because I don't want to go do the blood work again. So there's all that. That was my problem. That was me going outside of the hospital system. So now I've caused myself a problem. I feel like when she does go to the hospital and stuff, I think she does that a lot, but she does it not understanding that she's going outside of the hospital system and therefore causing issues. Like, I knew that was going to happen. I have my reasons, but the point is like, I knew it was going to cause an issue and I was prepared for that. She doesn't seem to understand that that's going to cause a problem, and so she's never prepared for it, and she's always caught off guard by it. But anyway.
For how much I pay a month for this insurance, you think that more places would accept this insurance? So it's just frustrating. But yeah, I've been.
If she does have insurance, she's getting scammed.
And I just wanted to check in and let you guys know about the Black Mirror thing more than anything. So if you guys do watch it and it's on Netflix, this is my reminder to let you guys know that new episodes are ready to go. Okay, guys, so we're gonna try something really weird that
I like that she thinks that everybody cares about her recommendations for television. Like, she really thinks so highly of herself and her opinions of media that she thinks people want to know, A, what she's watching, and B, if she likes it.
I saw people eating, and we're gonna try it and see what we think. Okay, it's two separate things. First thing we're gonna try is hearts of palm. Yes, we are. I'm a little nervous, but I've been seeing people try it and like it and eat it, so I figured, why not give it a go? Ooh, it does not.
Her treatment of food is so bizarre to me. Like, who does that? No one I know does that.
Not that good. People are saying that it reminds them of like artichokes, and I used to have an artichoke bush when I was yay high to a grasshopper, so I used to eat artichokes. Okay.
I also don't believe that either.
It literally looks like mozzarella cheese. All right, let's go.
I absolutely abhor the way she chews. It drives me absolutely crazy. And those stupid faces she makes.
Not bad. I will say it's a little more sour than artichoke, but it's decent. And people have been saying to add mustard.
Here we go.
So, okay. Here's some mustard. Wait, with the mustard? A million times better. And then now a raw Brussels sprout, which is already washed and ready to eat. We're gonna try with the good old mustard. Because
God forbid you wash your own vegetables. I like Brussels sprouts. I think I'm one of like the small percentage of America that likes Brussels sprouts. I like them cooked. I like them raw. I really like them baked with some salt and olive oil. Oh, they're so good. I just think it's interesting that that face right there. She's not looking forward to liking these. Look at that. It is like, But anyway.
I'm sure you guys have seen this go viral. I mean, if you're on the internet, then you probably have seen it, so.
I am on the internet, and I have no idea what she's talking about.
I've never had it raw, but I guess with mustard, it's supposed to taste good.
She's so faking that.
That's not bad. It tastes like a salad with mustard.
I mean, that's because it is. Brussels sprouts are actually more related to like broccoli than they are to cabbage, but I think a lot of people think that they're like little baby cabbages. Probably because they kind of sort of taste like that. If you've never had a Brussels sprout, it does kind of taste like American cabbage and broccoli combined. And that's not a perfect analysis, but that's kind of where you could go with that. Anyway, my point is, I eat raw Brussels sprouts quite a bit, actually. I like to shred them and put them in my actual salads. And they add like kind of a savoriness to the salad. I've never put mustard on it, but there are a couple salads here and there that you make where you add mayo or Miracle Whip if you're from the Midwest. And it's a very similar concept. It's still raw, but you've got it coated in mayonnaise. Sometimes I know sometimes people make their mayonnaise salads with a little bit of yellow mustard. So it's not the weirdest thing to me in the world. When I first saw this, I was like, what is she doing and why? Why is she doing it? Because I know that there was a trend on TikTok. This is not on TikTok, but I know that there was a trend on TikTok there for a while for people were dipping carrots into mustard, but the problem was it was being passed along in the ED communities as a way to keep your calories down, because that's the thing. And when I saw her start putting mustard on things like hearts of palm, and then this, and then some other stuff later on in some other episodes, it's very ED to me. And it's almost like she's trying to emulate somebody who has a more restrictive ED than what she clearly does have. And I just thought I think it's icky. I don't like it. I think it's icky. And I think it's a little irresponsible for her. She does have a very large audience. And I think it's very irresponsible of her to be putting this sort of stuff forward as if it was good and good for you. Kudos to her for eating vegetables. I'm never going to knock somebody for eating vegetables. It's probably one of the healthiest things you can do. But this is, to me, this is clearly ED behavior. And it's not an ED that Amberlynn has. It's an ED that Amberlynn's imitating in the hopes that weight will just fall off, or she's hoping that by doing it, she's going to get more popular because it is popular on the Clock app. So she's trying to do something in the hopes of gaining popularity, basically.
You wouldn't catch me eating it every day, but it's not bad. If it can help you get some like veggies in, have a little mustard, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I wanted to talk about 4 like triggers I have when it comes to like overeating or falling off track or eating broccoli, shouldn't, and what professionals tell me to do. So this isn't like triggers for binging or anything like that, because as you guys know, I do not suffer with that, thankfully, but I do suffer with like overeating. I wouldn't be the size if I didn't. So one trigger for me out of the 4 that I will be sharing is like unwanted emotions / like wanting to escape those. So the pretty obvious thing to do when I do feel like, say it's overwhelmed, anxiety, you know, sadness, depression, and I want to like turn to food to like numb that out. My therapist said, turn to hobbies instead. It like seems so obvious, and it is obvious, but like in the moment, sometimes it could be really hard. So that is why I do have so many hobbies and so many like childlike things I like to do, Legos, whatever it may be, because like turning to those things actually helps me a lot, because I would rather do those than put myself in a situation where it's just going to make me gain more weight.
Okay, so addressing that, her hobbies, don't get me wrong, I like Legos. I have a full collection of my own Legos. I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter Legos, and I was a huge fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy Legos. And we're not even going to talk about the Legos that I have kept from my childhood because they are obnoxious and take up quite a bit of space. My point is, the rest of her hobbies are, how to put this without being completely insulting, they are very childlike, and I think that is because they are non-challenging. Amberlynn does not like challenge, which is why I was kind of surprised that she liked Legos as much as she does, because sometimes some of the builds she's done are actually very complicated, and they're that way on purpose. They're aimed at adults who like to put together basically 3D puzzles, which is effectively what these are. So I was very surprised that she took up the Legos. But the rest of her stuff, like the collecting of the toys, and didn't she have a slime phase, and like the stickers and just the earrings, they're things that are very small, very shiny, very collectible, but they're also very unthreatening. There's no real amount of skill that is required, like the sketchy things where she was doing the scratch off pictures. Don't get me wrong, I loved those when I was a kid. If someone gave me some, I would probably still play with them today. If I saw a pack at the checkout counter and they were like $1, I would probably buy them and goof around with them. Would I make them an obsession as she did? No. Because those aren't made for adults. Adults might enjoy them here and there, kind of like I enjoy a piece of chocolate, but I'm not going to make a meal out of chocolate because it's not healthy. And I don't think an adult doing nothing but childlike things is necessarily healthy unless it's being prescribed to them as a type of therapy. On to the therapy topic. I think Amberlynn has gone to therapy a handful of times, and I think the majority of the time when she's talking about her therapist, I think she's making things up. And I think she's read things on the internet, or she's heard something on TikTok. I don't think she reads a lot on things on the internet, honestly. But I think she's putting words in the mouth of her therapist because that way she thinks people aren't going to criticize her as much. Again, I am someone who is in therapy. I have 2 therapists, actually, one that prescribes and one that does not. It is a requirement. And the things that she says and the things that she does, I'm just like, I've not been in every form of therapy because I've not been in every form of therapy, but it doesn't sound like things that a therapist would do and or say. So that's my press X to doubt moment.
The second trigger for me is like other people's opinions / like assumptions on the food that I'm eating. Like a good example of that is like, say I eat, actually, you know what? A really good example is actually my newest vlog. I was having some homemade rice, broccoli, and like this honey garlic chicken that Feline made. And a lot of people's like opinions and assumptions based on just that meal alone was triggering for me. People were assuming they knew how much rice was on the plate, even though it was measured out. Like things like that is highly triggering. And from a professional standpoint, my therapist says when I notice that that's happening more frequently and it's messing with my progress or like my emotions and stuff, to just simply show less of what I'm eating. I know showing my food is a popular want when it comes to this community. People want to see what I'm eating, which I totally get because I love to see what people eat, especially when they're like on a weight loss journey or they're trying to lose weight. It doesn't actually matter regardless. It's interesting to see what other people eat. So I understand like the people wanting that, but I need to do less of that because I do notice it like triggering me. Majority of everything I eat, 99.999% of what I eat is okayed by my dietitian. And for people to
I don't believe she has a dietitian. And I don't for a minute believe that her dietitian approves 99% of the crap she eats, because I just don't believe it. I just don't. I just don't. She's right. If her sharing her food with people is triggering to her, then don't do it. This is just another point where she's trying to blame her audience for her own bad behavior. You don't have to read the comments. I don't. And you don't have to interact with the comments, which I don't think she does as herself. I think she uses some of her sock accounts to do that. But she's right. If something that you are doing or interacting with is causing you mental strain, then don't do that thing. I don't think she has the self-control to not. I think she's very compulsive and driven by those compulsions, and doesn't exercise any form of self-discipline at any point. And so it's very easy for her to get sucked into bad behavior and bad habits that affect her negatively. And then instead of taking ownership of that, which she never takes ownership of anything, and going, I need to stop triggering myself, instead of doing that, she turns it onto her audience and says, when I do X and I share it with you because you've asked me to share it, then you are negative about it and that affects me. Too many quotes. And that is like textbook deflection. So just wanted to get that out there.
To assume that it's not, it's just like, I don't know, it just really triggers me. So the third thing is, like, if I'm watching a TV show or like watching YouTube, whatever it may be, and someone starts eating something, like, that is highly triggering for me. Like, if it's like chips is a big one, Chinese food for some reason is a really big one. I'm not the biggest fan of pizza. I mean, I used to like really dislike it when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I enjoy it more. Pizza's also weirdly one for me. Like, there's like certain foods that definitely trigger that.
You've literally named off nothing but junk food. I don't know why you haven't figured out that junk food is a trigger for someone who is clearly a food addict. Like, I'm not here to diagnose people, so in my opinion, she is clearly a food addict. Just like, in my opinion, she clearly has binge eating, BED, because apparently YouTube doesn't like us talking about real things. Anyway, this I don't understand. I mean, just for a minute, let's pretend like she's being serious, because I think in her head she is being serious. I don't have a food I do not have a food addiction. I am not a food addict. I don't have any I don't have any bad habits around food, because, I mean, I like my cake. I like a piece of cake. So I just don't keep it in the house, because when I do, I eat the cake. Clearly, I am not the most svelte person in the world, and I guess I'm on my own weight loss journey, but I have nowhere near as much weight to lose. That being said, because I'm actively trying to clean up my diet and get healthy, I don't keep foods in the house that trigger me. But watching people eat food typically doesn't do anything for me. I'm not somebody who, I can't stand mukbangs. I can't stand the sound of people chewing, which is why I can't stand her little mouth noises. What are you? Hannibal Lecter? So I can't associate with this, and it boggles my mind. And I don't mean that in a mean way, because I know there are some people that are legitimately like this. I can't imagine what that's like to not be able to just see food and not have a sudden urge to consume. All I can say is the fast food industry and the junk food industry has done an excellent job of conditioning us.
So I noticed that when something like that happens, I simply just like turn it off. I used to just like endure the pain. I used to watch a lot of mukbangers, like B Loves Life.
Let's speed this back up again.
I don't watch mukbangs at all, ever. Even though I enjoy the person, it's like I just can't do it because it is so triggering. So I just stay away from those things. So the last one is like certain activities. Like if it's like movie night, I automatically want to like order in dinner and like have popcorn. Or if we're playing like Mario Kart, it's just something that's triggering for me because like in the past, my brain automatically goes to, okay, so this is an activity where I usually would order food and like
like
eat
last
while playing.
week.
So this is something I talked to my dietitian about, and she said instead of just like not eating at all during those activities where normally I would, just choose healthier options, because food is about fuel, but it's also like you want to feed your body, but you also want to feed your soul, and you need to figure out how to like do it in moderation. So that has been harder for me, obviously, because like seriously, like date night, movie night, like my brain just correlates that with like a really good unhealthy meal, so it's hard for me to like get out of that habit. But those are things I'm just learning, like my 4 top triggers currently and how I can kind of live my life around them without it deteriorating me completely.
It's deteriorating, but okay. My comments on that. It is a well-studied, well-documented, well-known human fact that we associate food with events. Doesn't matter what culture you're from, doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, we as humans, make food part of any celebration and any event, unless it is an event or a celebration that is specifically about abstaining. And then, of course, there's no food because it's about abstaining from the food, which is, again, about the food. It's about the lack of food and the recognizing the abundance of the food after the lack of food. Anyway, that being said, associating food with certain events like date night, like movie night or Mario Kart night. I used to do a lot of role play, and role play game night was pizza night. We always ordered pizza with breadsticks, but I was also like 14. So you can eat a lot worse food when you're 14 than you can when you're her age. That being said, yeah, I could see a dietitian saying switch to a more healthy option, but her problem isn't yeah, she needs to eat healthier foods with mustard, apparently. But in general, she just eats too much. Like, she was complaining about people saying that there was too much rice on her plate when she was eating, was it rice and broccoli and chicken? On the one hand, people need to not worry about it. Rice is like the least of her problems, but the other end of that is I don't for a minute believe that she had 1 serving of rice. So she underestimates how much she eats. I don't know if she does it on purpose, because sometimes people do. They're like, oh, well, if the cookie breaks in half, then that means half the calories fell out, right? That's something my family and I used to do. But it's that kind of mentality, oh, you can just fudge it a little bit. And maybe it's like 2 whole servings, but, if I look at it a different way, then it's a 1 serving, that kind of a thing. Or maybe she does something where like she bargains with herself, I'll have like a whole cup of rice now, but later on I won't eat, I don't know, a sandwich because of the bread. And then later on she eats the sandwich anyway. So,
Feline wrote this about a week ago.
Sorry, I'm going to speed her back up again. I'm sorry. Nope, not that fast. That's too fast.
You and me against the world. I woke up to it. Now it's my turn. So this is like the marker chalk. So you have to take it off with some water and, whoa, you can see some of the past things that we've written on here. That's so funny.
She is so fake when she discovers something.
But once it dries, you can't see it at all. So now that it's dry. So we ultimately just go back and forth.
She does have nice handwriting.
Oh, it's blurry. I love that for you guys. Sorry, this camera's really bad with the blur or with the focus.
It's like you never learned how to use a camera.
What in the world?
Just write the damn thing out.
It goes blurry every time I start writing. So that's what I wrote. All right, you guys.
Poet Lynn.
It's time for some P.O. box openings.
I do like the P.O. box
stuff. So the first thing I opened was this box, and it's from Claire. She got me a card, a letter.
Hi, Claire.
I just want to say congrats on your weight loss, and thank you for the kind words. She also sent me this Scratch It Jewel with jewel tone paper, which I love stuff like this. That's going to be super fun. And then she painted all of these. Like, oh my gosh, these are so neat. Like, I absolutely love this one. This one is my favorite because if you guys know anything about me, I am a dinosaur girly. And then that one says smile. There's just so many cute ones, like this flamingo, alien.
I think Amberlynn is a dinosaur girly because Amberlynn thinks that's cute. I don't think Amberlynn actually likes dinosaurs. I think she thinks that is a cute, quirky thing that cute, quirky girls do, and so that's why she likes dinosaurs.
And have you guys heard about what's going on? The government's finally being honest about aliens.
Okay, this is the shit that just like, I just can't. The crap that she believes in is just A, stunning to me as a full-blown adult, and B, very telling. My cat food feeder's going off. There we go. I'll have a herd of cats in here in a minute. But the things that she believes in and the things she doesn't believe in are very showing of how her mind works and how she thinks. And it's sometimes kind of scary, in my opinion, because I clearly don't think that way. And I have opinions of people who do. But the whole like, oh, the government's covering up aliens. Seriously, really, logically think that one through. Anyway, she can't, but anyway.
Here's a kitty cat, astronaut. Thank you so much, Claire. I appreciate it so much.
What are you gonna do with
Okay,
all
so
of
this
those?
next one is a painting that a small business owner in UK, England made. Her name is Saima, and she also wanted me to give a shout out to her brother and cousins, Wasim, Nazish, Maya, and she said that their names are a Pakistani name, so if I pronounced it wrong, then it's okay. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, so if I did pronounce them wrong, I'm so very sorry. But thank you guys so much for the support, truly.
I can't pronounce people's names either, so I will never hold that against
She
someone.
knows that Bora Bora is my like dream is to go there. So she painted me at Bora Bora, and I know exactly what clip this is from. So I just think it's super cute that, oh my god, that she thought of doing this, and it's so creative because I remember I was sitting on a chair and she just brought me to a spot that I've always wanted to go to, and the letter you wrote me is so sweet. So thank you so much. It just means the world.
I mean, first off, this picture is really nice. It's really well done. I think it's very pretty. There's definitely some skill here. I would totally admire a picture like this. I know a lot of people thought that this is a troll. I don't, but I also think it's interesting that the artist chose to be so true. If this is a troll, this is a lot of effort for a troll, and I know that some people will go to some lengths. I do believe the bread that was sent to her was 100% a troll, and I will stand by that. I don't care what the farms likes to say, but I honestly don't think this one is a troll because it's just so much effort. But I do think it's a very sad picture, and I don't think she gets the sadness of the picture because I think the picture's meant to be sad. So, I mean, look at, you have this woman who is immobile because of her weight. She can't even go onto the beach or the sand or the water. She has to sit on rocks that are actually blocking her from the beach and the water and just the beautiful vista. Like, she's, even in the picture, she is walled in. I don't know if that was an intentional thing. Art is meant to be interpreted, but that's just what I see. Is a woman who is imprisoned both metaphorically and actually by her body, and is being kept from the thing that she wants, which is clearly the vista behind her. Anyway, I think Amber missed that, or maybe she did see it and she's like faking being happy about it.
To me, and one day I will be there for real. Just look how gorgeous that is, though, for real.
It is a very pretty picture.
Stunning.
She did an excellent
Thank you
job.
so much. Like, this is so kind and so sweet. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys are some postcards, which I love postcards. This one is from Artemis, who actually painted this. It's beautiful. Thank you. This postcard is from Arnott. Thank you so much. And then this one is from Rebecca. Thank you. I love a postcard. I have a collection starting because of you guys. If you guys want to send me anything, here's my P.O. box, but please just remember, do not send me any food. Thank you very much.
Here's my thing with the P.O. box thing. She did start around the first of the year asking on camera for people to not send food. And that was after the candy bar incident. Take that how you want. And then she got sent bread. And she got sent like some cakes and stuff. And I know people were like outraged because she got pissy about it, which she kind of overreacted. I would not have gone as far as she did, or even acknowledged that it happened. I probably would have just been like, well, that goes in the trash. And then never mentioned it, honestly, because giving people that amount of attention for the troll that they pulled off is just going to guarantee that they're going to try to pull it again. But in her defense, she was saying in her videos, please don't send me food. And everybody was like, oh, well, she didn't do it right, or she didn't put it in the comments, and she didn't put it in the description, and there's nothing on the screen that says, rana, 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 rana. And it's like, I clearly remember her saying in at least 2 videos before the bread was sent to her, please do not send me food. And one of the videos she said, if you send me food, I will throw it away. So I don't know why people went out of their way to make her wrong in that situation. But she had requested that people not do that. And this person blatantly did it, not only once, but sent like a butt ton of stuff. And yeah, it was expensive, but she had requested not to have that done, and you did it anyway. So I'm not really sure why you expected a positive reaction to it. The reaction of the reaction channels to that was just problematic, in putting it in a short way. It was very victim blaming, and I know people don't like to admit when Amber is an actual victim, but this was one of those situations where she had been very clear, and people chose not to hear it because they didn't want to, or they heard it and they were like, hee hee hee, I wonder what would happen if I sent her a cake. I bet she'll eat it anyway, because I hear people say that out loud on the reactions. So in this instance, I think her anger was justified, but I think her overall reaction was in poor taste. Again, a smarter person would have just thrown it away and not ever mentioned it. But I just wanted to put that out there, that the reaction of the reaction channels was just shocking to me and very disappointing to me as a human being. But, you know, I have high standards and I don't know why I continue to.
So I wanted to show you guys that this is where I keep all of my notes, letters, cards that you guys get me, and I didn't expect you guys to get me so many. So it's like, I need a new way of organizing all this. So I think I'm going to take it all out and organize it by like card, letter, etc., etc. Because like I even save the Amazon gifts that you guys write me, like the little notes in there, because it just means so much to me. So right now I am just going through
so much to me that
every
I throw them in
single
a
thing that you guys have ever sent me, and I'm separating it into piles, like letters, cards, etc. And I realized that like
so weird,
the first shelf, majority of that was from live stream era. Oh my god, look, someone drew Twinkie. I love when you guys send me art. That's really makes me so happy. So a lot of it was like a lot of letters were during live stream era, when I wasn't really talking about my PO box, and it was mainly just like something that I would mention in passing. So yeah, it's kind of cool to go back and like, look at all this.
Look, I'm a Harry Potter fan.
So
Sorry.
The person's watching me. Look how gorgeous. I totally forgot that I had these with the letter. It's cute little bracelets. Okay, so I'm covering that for privacy, but here are all the letters. Here are the cards and the postcards. Here is the art. Look how cute. That is so adorable. And then I also wanted to show you guys this one. That's the first piece of art I actually ever received. It's a painting. Aww. So beautiful. And then again, privacy, but this is just like miscellaneous, and then like the Amazon gift notes.
At least she's learned to like
this, but this was like 3 years ago. My brother was in prison and he had someone draw this for us. This is my brother, my mom, and me. And I just wanted to show it to you guys. It's just like really special to me.
Honestly, if she hadn't told me that was her, I would not have known. Sure. It doesn't look anything like her.
Okay, you guys, so I have a ton of laundry that I need to put away. This is just a load, actually 2 loads that I completed today. So I'm about to do that, and then I have to edit this video and get it up for you guys. I know these vlogs are not like the most entertaining things in the world, but I just like coming on here and talking to you guys, and I know
I enjoy watching
like
anyway.
Mundane, everyday life stuff. That is the stuff that I prefer to watch. So I'm making the content that I like to watch. I like when my favorite vloggers literally just stay at home and do nothing. It is the best. But anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello. Hi.
Oh, stop. All right, we're lucky she even said goodbye. She has the exact same hanger as I do, except mine are pink, but I also have black ones. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Her pile of clothes, I know it bothers a lot of people, and it bothers me too, because it's just like so much clothes. I have a fair amount of clothing because I like clothes, but nothing like that. I just don't understand how you even wear that much clothing. Okay, so I wanted to watch this one because it was the beginning of the mustard era, and I clearly had a few things to say. So, but anyway, this is my first reaction. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna try to put these out fairly regularly, and yeah. Feel free to leave comments down below if you would like. I guess if you've made it this far in the video, put a little, well, if there's a mustard emoji, put that in. And if not, then put like a t-shirt emoji in there because of the laundry pile. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video, which will be the one right after this. And hopefully I will get caught up with the modern era quickly.